Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Choices, Finding Your Joy. Paula Vail here. I am so happy to share with you today just a fascinating young man. We have with us today Lucia Williams. He is a telepathic truth speaker, white fire healing practitioner, psychic development teacher, TV host, author, and musician. He's done just about everything. Lucia, I just want to say welcome. So happy to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Paula. It is definitely my joy and pleasure to be sharing with you and viewers in this way. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, I'm really excited to learn more about you and what you do. Tell us a bit about your background and what brought you to where you're at today.
Absolutely. Well, interestingly enough, I believe that I'm following in my ancestors' footsteps. I'll explain that in a minute, but I basically call myself a telepathic truth speaker, like you had mentioned, which basically means that I'm able to see people's past, present, and future, as well as past lives. I can connect to loved ones that have crossed over in spirit, connect with spirit guides, angels, things of that nature. And the goal there is really to bring about healing, peace, closure, and guidance, genuine guidance, and those that I work with paths so they can come back to self, really come back to home. That genuine sense of authenticity and life purpose, revitalize within, and that's the reading work that I do. And I call myself a white fire healer as well, because I've been gifted with, from Creator, the capability to help people to heal on a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, level and plane through this energetic practice that I practice called white fire healing. And it's, had very, very miraculous results, with the modality thus far. And, my background, when I was a child, 10, 11, 12, and even younger than that, that's when all of this started surfacing. I used to have very, very powerful dreams of past lives and wake up and just be fascinated by that and see my ancestors and hear the Holy Spirit. And that's how it all started. And it was just very, very, it was almost like if you're watching a movie that draws your attention and it's like you're not even in the room anymore, you're in the movie. That's kind of and so that's kind of how I got started into this work. And it wasn't until I was later in life, I say later, until I was 17 when everything kind of resurfaced, and I just had no option but to confront it and accept my gifts and move forward with them.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That must be life-changing to have that, open up to that ability and what you can do for others.
Yes, absolutely. It's just life, it's beautiful. I think that, we're all keepers of gifts and talents and abilities. And, I just love helping people to tap into their own, as well as, me tap into my own and help others with it, because I truly believe that, when one person is able to rise, everybody else can rise as well. And so, it's just a matter of helping, and being a guide and really sharing that light and that richness.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Tell us about your TV show. What is the theme of that?
Yes. So I have a TV show, local TV show here in Virginia that is actually getting ready to re-air in about just under 3 weeks. And that show is called To the Light with Lucia. And the concept of the show is really, it's like a light worker's dream come true, At least that's what I try to make it to be anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wonderful show, It's I open it up with speaking on a spiritual topic, and I call it a talk with Lucia, and basically we share some wisdom and some light on a topic that is good for bringing more energy and zest into our personal lives, and living it from a spiritual perspective. And then, yes, it's lovely. I love it. It's fun, you know. And from there, I usually talk about a power plant. You know, and every week there's a power plant, and that's just a plant that can be used medicinally, you know, ingested or whatnot. That's good for our health, or it can be, you know, applied topically or whatnot. And from
I
there,
love that. Give us an example of one of your power plants.
okay, yeah. A good power plant, I would say, would be like moringa, which is a plant that is native to the Himalayas. And it's a wonderful plant. It's, you know, it's very mineral dense. So it's got like almost, like, I don't know, there's like 104, 106, something like that, minerals that the body, you know, needs, or especially for the body. And I think moringa has something like 84, 85 of the bone. It's very calcium rich as well, so it's great for the bones, you know, and for the ligaments, and you know, more density, calcium density than milk, you know. So it's great for people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, vitamin rich as well. It's a super plant for sure, and a great plant for those that are seeking more of a plant-based diet, but still would like to that they might get from other things that are in the standard American diet that aren't really the most beneficial, you know, most beneficial way to ingest or receive those nutrients or minerals or vitamins. So moringa would definitely be a really positive plant, and it's a great plant. It's a super plant.
Where would I find that plant?
Yeah, pretty much any health food store would have it. I would assume. Like, I know Foods would have it. You can even go online, you know, just a Google search. You know, I know there's a company that I go through, that I like to go through, that I found on Amazon.com, and I think it's called like Zen Principles. But and they're organic and great, just a great product. And you know,
your show sounds really fun. So are you interviewing different guests?
yes. That's probably my favorite part of the show, or one of my favorite parts, which is the interview with the local light worker. And that's just somebody sharing their light in one capacity or another. And there's different definitions for a light worker. That just happens to be mine.
Yeah.
And I love to be able to highlight, you know, people within the community that are sharing their gifts in one way or another. And awesome interviews so far. So
I love
great
it.
thing.
We're all just a team, aren't we? It's so wonderful.
Network.
Yes. So where would the viewers go to watch one of your shows, Lucia?
Yes, the show, if you're not in Virginia locally, will be uploaded to my YouTube channel, which is Lucia Williams. And if you just subscribe, you can see those episodes once they're uploaded. And I think the show re-airs like April 19th, I believe, Wednesday, April 19th. So shortly after, you know, the 5 episodes, you know, air, they'll be up on YouTube. So it'll be a great way to connect and, you know, see it and check it out.
I love it. I love it. And you are also an author. Tell us about what have you written and what triggered you to write? Yes.
I love writing, you know. I believe that words are power, you know. They are vibration embodied, you know, in a form that isn't even really tangible, but we can feel it, we can hear it, you know, we can sense it, we can know it, you know. And I've always, you know, had a thing for communication. And so when I was like a child, I'd write, you know, little poetry or like little proverbs and things like that. And so I ended up writing my first book because I would just write on Facebook pretty much, you know, how when I was like in high school, just little proverbs that would just come to me. And I really just needed a place to put them. And it was kind of like having a journal right there. But then people would, you know, come up to me, you know, that I didn't even realize were, you know, looking at these things, and would be like, hey, like, I love your stuff. And, you know, it's really uplifting to read what you write, and, you know, it changes my life and things like that. And I was like, wow, like, that's really incredible. And then as that kept happening, people would be like, so when are you going to write a book? And I was like, well, you know, I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess that might be a good thing to do.
Yes.
I did. And I wrote my first book, I think maybe 2011 it was finished. And that's called The Wise Soul. The Musings of a Man in the Spirit of Wisdom. But if you just like type in The Wise Soul on Amazon.
Oh, I love that title. I love that. So give us a little bit of what's in that book. Oh, I love that title.
Yes. So the book really is kind of like a self-help styled book. It's not so much a self-help book, but it's a self-help styled book. And that it's basically like a book of Proverbs, just little quotes of wisdom that are designed to help uplift and enlighten and inspire thought within our being, to really just get thinking about how we think about ourselves and how we think about our outside world and unravel the busyness of our mind and really get to the core. And after the proverb, there's a couple of questions that kind of go along with the proverb to just kind of, expand on what's being stated and just provoke a little bit of thought and a little bit of ease, get rid of some stress and just create a little bit of ease, and that's really what the purpose is.
Yeah. We affect our lives so greatly, don't we, Lucia, with our thoughts, with the direction of our thoughts? Isn't that just powerful?
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah. It's kind of like fishing, it's like, people a lot of times, seek to go fishing and catch great fish, a nice, size catch, but without realizing it, they don't even have any bait on their hook. And if they, just throw it in without any bait, they're not going to catch what they want to catch. They might not catch anything, and so sometimes having those positive thoughts, really all the time having those positive thoughts, or just focusing on what we want in life, on the positive end of the spectrum, it's like having that bait, and then, then you get a couple of nibbles, and then, aha, you get that bite, and it's like, yes, that golden catch. And that's how it works, it's foolproof,
I love that analogy. That is so great.
Thank you.
Really, so you could say our thoughts and our positive mindset, what we put out there, that's the bait we're putting on the hook.
You're absolutely right. Yes. Spot on. Yes.
I love it.
So true. Yes.
Oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to be a really good fisherman.
Yeah, you deserve it. You deserve it.
Oh, I love it.
And then you can share your secrets with others, and how you caught wonderful fish.
Yes. How many books have you written?
I've actually written 2. My second book is just now being finished. I'm working on the illustration, and I don't want to reveal just yet what that is. I'm currently talking to a friend of mine that has a publishing house, and I'm evaluating my options as well, going the publishing route, and seeing what to do with it. But I will say that it is a children's styled book.
I love it.
But for very gifted children. And without going into too many details, I'm so excited because this book, it's, I often find that when we do things that we're passionate about and that we really love in life, a lot of times we're doing it, our ministry, so to speak, what our ministry is really, we're ministering to other people, but in essence, we're also ministering to ourselves, And I found that through writing this book, I've healed a huge part of myself. And I know that it will help a lot of other children that were in the similar shoes as mine, that are gifted children and, adults as well that have these children and really, desire to have a way to, have guidance or insight into how to work with these gifted children. And, so I'm through the roof excited for this book. So.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. Oh my gosh. And you're also a musician. So tell us about that.
Yes, I am a musician. I'm currently the lead vocalist of a band called Chiefs of All Tribes. And we play very conscious music, our style is more like reggae, funk, rock, and hip hop. And we write, the music is very conscious, positive, uplifting type music. We really want to spread the message of togetherness, of peace, love, ultimately, righteousness, goodness, the good things in life. And, we were actually ranked, I think, number 5 out of the top 100 bands in Richmond, Virginia, on Reverb Nation, which is like social media for musicians. And we've gotten a lot of offers. And, you know, right now we're actually in the process of scouting for a new drummer. We parted ways with our old drummer. And so we're looking for a new drummer. We're auditioning people right now, but we still got music up. And if you'd like to hear our stuff or see any of our live performances or our rehearsals we record as well live, you know, you can find us on Facebook. That's probably the easiest way to connect with us, which is just facebook.com/Chiefs, like indigenous, you know, leaders of all tribes. So facebook.com/Chiefs of all tribes.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, you are just so fun, Lucia.
Oh,
you
thank
do
you
so much. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, tell us, so with your psychic development teaching and the work you do you work with clients? Do you help people one-on-one, or is it more with your TV show and your music that you connect with people?
Right. I do work with people one-on-one, and I like to, you know, anything that I do in my life, work-wise or, you know, anything like that, I really try to make it my outreach, you know, make it part, like an extension of who I actually am, you know, so it's not inauthentic in any way, you know. And so I do work with people one-on-one. It's the music is just a way to do that as well, but also to self-expression. The psychic development teaching and things like that. I teach classes, you know, one-on-one students, as well as, you know, group classes as well. Like I have an intuitive development class, and we play fun games and meditations and exercises to help people to tap into their own innate intuitive abilities, because everybody has intuition. Everybody has intuition. I don't care what anybody says, everybody has intuition. And we've all had instances in our life where our intuition has been spot on, and we wish we would have listened to it, and we didn't listen to it, and something happened, and it was like, I should have listened, you know.
Yes.
And so, you know, my goal with that is to just help people to really be guided, you know, and develop further. And it's so much fun. It is just so much fun, you know. The key is to have fun, you know, and to let go and just not have super high expectations, but really just go into it with an open mind and just have fun and develop. And
Yes.
I think people do some incredible things and come very, very far and just develop as individuals just from, you know, doing something like the intuitive development. And it's wonderful.
Now, Lucia, for anyone out there that would like to open up and, you know, develop their intuition a little more, any suggestions on what we can do for that?
Yes. I would say, first and foremost, and this is probably going to sound cliche, but hey, it's cliche for a reason, is listen to your gut. You know, 9 out of 9 times, it's not going to be wrong. You know, listen to your gut, you know, but also just get subtle, you know, spend some time, you know, really spending time alone or away from people. You know, like for instance, Paula, you are very empathic. I'm just by looking at you right now, I can tell you're very empathic. You know, you pick up on vibes very, very easily. You know, your heart is like your guiding force. You know, you stay in your heart as much as possible. You know, you're very simple, you're very efficient. You know, your mind works very well, but your goal ultimately is to stay in your heart as much as possible. And it keeps you protected in a lot of ways from, like, you know, negativity or things that you know, other people are doing or saying that might not be the most positive, that, you know, kind of just feel sticky or uncomfortable. But, you know, at the same time, like, getting subtle and, like, just spending away from all that noise and all, you know, just negativity or things like that, and just coming back to self and just having time to reflect and say, all right, is this really my thoughts, or is this somebody else's thoughts? Is this really feeling, or is this somebody else's feeling? And really just taking that time to just step aside, you know, whether it's once a day at the end of the day or even in the morning, you know, before the day gets started, even better, you know, and just decide, like, am I going into this day with a clear mind? Like, is what I'm thinking right now really my thoughts, or is this something that somebody else has said to me, or that I was around somebody that just picked up on this, or are these my feelings? You know, is this something that I actually feel? And just distinguish between what's ours and what's not ours. And if it's not ours, letting go of it. That's a huge, huge key to developing intuition. That's like a foundational building block right there. And there's many, many ways beyond that to develop, but that's really the foundation.
Because we all have that. And oh my gosh, if we can develop that, that can bring such guidance and direction for us, wouldn't you say?
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. And I think that's really what people want, I found anyways, to just, be all right, to be all right and, know what the right move is. And hey, if you make a mistake, big deal. Like, it's not a big deal, and I even look at the word like mistake, like just breaking it down, like the prefix miss and then take, like just, you think about like a film, right? That's being created and you're on set, like you have takes, right? So if it's a mistake, it's just a take that isn't the exact take that we desire. So just move on to the next one and, we'll have the opportunity to get it right the next time. So, just develop that intuitive muscle and, the next take will be better.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, it is like a muscle. It is like a muscle. Do you have a favorite inspirational quote that you'd like to share with everyone? What is your favorite, Lucia?
One that I've created or one that I've
that you've read that's one of your favorites that you carry with you?
I actually like the fact that you've shared this opportunity to have me on the show because with this women's broadcast television network, I really resonate with women a lot. I think that women are wonderful creatures and things like that, and we're here in the West as well, and that's not to take away from men because I love my brothers as well. But I remember thinking about something that Dalai Lama had said, and this isn't the quote exactly verbatim, but what he was pretty much hitting on is like the Western woman and what the Western woman means to the world, and I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with that, and just that knowledge of, the Western woman really being the catalyst for change, for positive change towards this more spiritually enlightened age, this more heart-centered age, that, and I don't know the quote verbatim, but it starts off with the Western woman. I know that. And, the fact the quote, has rung true for me and like I drew something from it just speaks volumes to the quote, and that's a good quote in general. That's what it would do. And I think it's very true. It's very, very true because, the feminine is the creative force, of the universe, really. I mean, it's both masculine and feminine to come together to create, but, the masculine is really birthed from the feminine in a lot of ways. So when we can get it in balance, and empowering, the feminine is incredible.
And there really is so much created by the feminine. I mean, we don't hear a lot or read a lot about it, but I recently interviewed a guest who wrote a book on, women from about 1950. Oh my gosh, so many things have been invented and changes made by women, and that's something a lot of us don't think about.
So true.
Really exciting.
It really is exciting, and I think of somebody like, everybody loves her. Like Emma Watson, right? Like she is a true inspiration. And I think about like other women too, that are just great barriers and just going leaps and bounds. It's just that now we're getting more recognition for women that are actually making changes, and it's just it's exciting, and it brings me joy as well because I'm seeing just the feminine represented appropriately. Like it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's exciting, and it's so awesome that you share such positive and caring energy, with your music, your TV, your books. You really are a beautiful vibration in the world, Lucia. We have about 3 minutes left in the show. What last information or inspiration would you like to share with everyone today?
I would say that, no matter where you're seeking to go in life, no matter what you're looking to build or have within your life, just remember the destination is found within the journey, It really is. And, don't anything stop you from, there's no, in every moment, in every decision, you're either making an excuse or you're making a way with love. And, you know, that's just that. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and just keep going forward, and as far as, whatever you desire, you can really have it. And just, there's no reason to, if you've been wrong, there's no reason to, have to get back at anybody for it. Just allow it to strengthen you and, be that light in the world. There's nothing more satisfying than actually living a fulfilled life. And the key to doing that is really just being authentic to self and not having to worry about what other people think or do or say or any of that. So definitely on the right track if you're doing those things.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And, that's such an important message to get out there, So many shifts happening and energy changing and, there's so much, it's so great to see the positive energy out there and the self-empowerment. It's really exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I would just say too, from a personal level, like I've got a lot coming up in the future, so look out for that. And I've gotten a few network television opportunities recently from production companies in LA. So I'm following up with that right now in the process of, weeding through that and seeing where that goes. So I would, love for you guys to connect there as well. And,
awesome.
The book.
I'm so excited for you. Just thrilled and so excited to have you on today to share with everyone. I am just so happy. Please tell everyone briefly before we go, if they want to contact you, how would they get a hold of you?
Yes, I would say the easiest way would be either through Facebook or through my website. My website, which actually you can find on my Facebook page through my website as well. That will just be www.light, L-I-G-H-T, of O-F, Lucia, Lucia.com. So lightoflucia.com. And just, shoot me a message through there. You can read a little bit about what I do or read what people have written about the work. Connect with me on Facebook as well. That'd be a great way. And the Facebook page is right there on my website. And let's connect. I love connecting with people and life is a beautiful journey.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm so happy to have connected with you. Oh, just thrilled. Oh, and to everyone out there, love, hugs, and blessings. Thank you for joining us today. Lucia, love, hugs, and blessings your way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Paula.
Bye.
See you later.